We're so excited to introduce our pasture poultry here at our new farm. Let's go through the process of how we did it. Well, the brooder worked great, and we dropped down that side door and allowed those chickens to come out into that stall area. And after a couple days, we opened the door and fenced in an area outside. And in that outside fenced area, this was sitting, and I would feed them out there and roll this over the top. I wanted them to get used to getting underneath this because when it rained, I wanted them to run under here and not run into the stall. Once they were trained to that, we were able to move them out onto this pasture area. But obviously, there's big threats out here. So once they transition outside, there's a lot of danger out here. These chickens can get killed pretty easily by hawks, eagles, raccoons, skunks. So it's very, very important to protect them the best you can. And that's why we have our trusty livestock guardian dog, Iris. Iris has been with us for a long time, okay? She's over 11 years old. She's getting a little slower, but her mere presence, when we put her in this pen, she literally walked around the fence line, laid her scent a few times, and she lays by the chickens at night. Predators don't know that she's over 11 years old. They just see a large dog, and they don't want to go near her. She is so docile. She walks through, she doesn't step on them. She is just the ideal guard dog. And if any of you know anything about her from the past, you'll know that she's the love of our life. And we know her time is coming, but she is still very useful. Well, when you move to a new property, you don't have all the tools that you had at the old one. And so I secretly stole my wife's bird house hanger, I guess that's what it is, or maybe a bird feeder. I don't know what it is. But it worked perfectly for my water. I'm able to put the 5-gallon bucket up high, the bell water down low, and I can take the bucket off and fill it. So I want to make everything easy for the kids to do, and this is perfectly easy for them to do. Again, very clean water, and I can switch it out every day. The trough feeders, currently we have 3 out here. I'm going to go ahead and put 4 out because I want each chicken to have enough space at the feeder. That's very important because if you don't, the bigger, stronger chickens are going to push out the weaker ones and not allow them to have as much food. So I increase the number of feeders, in other words, linear feed space, as the chickens grow. Well, any of you who have raised broilers as opposed to laying hens, you know they're quite a different animal. Now, the commercial industry feeds a lot more than we do because they're inside and that's their only source of nutrition, or anybody who keeps them cooped up. We don't feed them nearly as much because we want to encourage them to go out and find food. It does 2 things. First of all, it gives them a much better balanced diet. Second of all, it fills them with chlorophyll, which is essential for the digestive tract. And the other thing is it makes them move. Our mortality rate is a lot lower because we don't have something called ascites, which is a heart condition, or necrosis in the joints because they move a lot. They don't just sit there and eat. And so our mortality, well, I'll give an example. We had 51 chicks 5 weeks ago. We have 50 now. That one chick died in the first 3 days it was here. So we keep about a 1 to 2% mortality rate. If it's higher, we've done something wrong. And it has been higher at times. So why have feeders at all? It's pastured poultry. Well, there's a couple reasons for that. One, you want to make sure they have a good balance of minerals and vitamins and protein and carbohydrates. And although they could get that in nature, remember, I'm penning them into a relatively small area, even though I'm trying to move them around. I want to make sure they get every bit of nutrition they can. The other thing is, well, it keeps them in this area. When they have that snack to look forward to, they don't want to escape and try to get through that fence. Well, we are looking forward to our first homegrown meat here at the new property. We're looking for about a 5 to 7 pound dress weight at 8 to 9 weeks. But we'll check them as time goes on. If you haven't subscribed, please join us on our journey and leave a comment. We love to read those.